everyone, and welcome to today's video lecture. I'm Emily Bayless, and I am here to spread some holiday cheer and more importantly to inform you guys on Black representation throughout art history. Some quick background information on me. My name is Emily. I am a junior sculpture major here at Texas Tech, and I love art. So let's get into it. Our topic, we would like to explore the representation of Black people and culture throughout history in art history and through imagery and how it connects to today's culture and society. A little background about the art history. During this time, this is the 18th and 19th century period, so we're talking about 17 and 1800s. There were a lot of abolition artworks and imagery. Pieces by Girodet called Jean-Baptiste Belly from 1797 is a very prominent figure. I'll add him right here. This is a painting that really focused on breaking down stereotypes, and it gave power to the Black man, but at the same time it really hindered the Black man's power, because this whole painting was this idea of freedom and power and authority, yet you can see that this Black man is leaning on a white pedestal of a white man named Reynaud, who had a lot of social influence. So it gives the idea of we're free, but we were given freedom rather than that we took freedom, like how they really did. Another really big thing in these time periods where Africans were very often shown as lazy, as weak, as animalistic, and as slaves. Honestly, to really make up for the fact of what they were doing to these people, they thought it was better to show them as these traits so that way that it could be justifiable as to like all their actions towards them. I want to make sure that you guys know that in no way is this okay. We do not support that. Unfortunately, the world was dominated by white men and they chose to portray the people this way, but not the truth of what they were trying to say. Another really famous print is the Am I Not a Man and a Brother to You print. This is a very, very famous abolition artwork and very famous like imagery that we can still be seen today. Some of my other group members are going to go into that later, so I will let them show you a picture of it and go into that. So, bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Lainey Wilson. I'm a sophomore and I'm currently a business major. Today I'm going to talk about how older African art history and images relate to icons today. Many abolitionist imagery from the 1800s shows enslaved African Americans kneeling on the ground in chains with their arms stretched out, and some being enslaved, but some being freed by abolitionists, as seen here. Among this art is Josiah Wedgwood's Am I Not a Man and a Brother? This image, along with the phrase, appeared in medallions used by British abolitionists dating back to 1787. And then it was sent to Benjamin Franklin, who was the president of the Pennsylvania Abolition Society at the time. The symbol is being used in other forms today. Starting in 2016, NFL player Colin Kaepernick from the San Francisco 49ers sat and later kneeled for the national anthem in protest of the oppression of people of color. This sparked many other silent protests in the NFL against police brutality and racial inequality, even after Colin lost his contract. These protests are still happening today and have helped grow the Black Lives Matter movement.
Hello, my name is Ariana Clark, and I am a freshman biology major with a focus of pre-med. In my research, I studied how past icons and imagery are still being used today in the struggle for equality. The clenched fist is perhaps the most closely identified in the United States with the Black struggle for civil rights, but its symbolic history goes back to the 19th century when the gesture was used to represent the courage of the revolutionaries against the European monarchies. In the early 1960s, the symbolic gesture of the raised clenched fist was used by the Black Power movement as a gesture to represent the struggle for civil rights. The symbol became a centerpiece in the 1968 Summer Olympics in Mexico City when two Black American track athletes, Tommie Smith and John Carlos, won gold and bronze medals respectively for the 200-meter sprint. Each raised a black gloved fist while standing on the winner's platform as a form of protest against ongoing racism and injustice for the United States and throughout the world. Smith and Carlos' use of the raised fist was a symbolic prosecutor for the NFL player Colin Kaepernick bent knee protests in 2017. The Black Lives Matter movement reclaimed the clenched fist as an emblem of power, pride, and perseverance. Although it never stopped being a symbol of Black pride, the clenched fist made a major comeback with Black Lives Matter supporters of all races following the murder of George Floyd by a white policeman. Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013 following the acquittal of George Zimmerman for the murder of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed Black teenager, and the raised fist has become a symbol for the movement. Although clenched fists would later be used by other oppressed groups, including feminists and the LGBT community, as well as U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders during his 2016 bid for the Democratic nomination, and even President Donald Trump during his 2017 inauguration, it will forever be linked to Black pride and Black power.
Hey guys, my name is Bethany Wells. I'm a kinesiology major and a biology minor. And today my group chose to go over Black culture and just to expand on their history and their current and past struggles that they've had to go through just based on their color, just based on their traditions and their beliefs. And so I chose this article, and it's called Black Art in America, and I have it attached, and it just goes over different ways they were able to still influence their art even though they went through enslavement. They were not able to practice their own traditions. They weren't allowed to use their own culture. They had to put it aside and just live the American way, and they were slaves to the Americans, and they had to just let go of their beliefs and just leave what they had practiced of their own culture traditions. They had to leave that aside. But there's these two people, as pointed out through the article. One is Robert S. Duncanson, and the other one is Edward Mitchell Bannister. And these two people were able to influence their art in the 1800s. Even though they had been through enslavement, they were not able to practice their own culture. They weren't allowed to do any of what they believed in. And so, but they still got past it, and they were still able to influence their art. And I have a picture as one of their artworks here, and they were able to, it just shows that no matter the color, no matter the culture, no matter the belief system, they were still able to influence their art, and they were still able to get past all the enslavement and everything they had to put back. They were still able to accomplish what they were here to do.
Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Bryan. I am classified as a sophomore here at Texas Tech University, and I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about major African American artists, where they were and where they are at today, and kind of the main milestones that they have reached in their life. The first person I wanted to talk to y'all about is Alma Thomas. She was born in 1891 and passed in 1978. She is the first student to receive a degree from the art department at Howard University in Washington, D.C. After teaching for more than 30 years in Washington, D.C. public school systems, she began devoting herself to painting full-time. She was also the first Black woman to have a solo exhibit in the Whitney Museum of Art in New York City when she was 80. So another person that I felt was really impactful in what they have done is William Edmondson. He was born in 1874 and died in 1951. He is the first African-American artist to have a solo exhibit in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. An interesting fact about him is he is a freed slave in Tennessee. He says that God compelled him to sculpt. When he was about 55 is when he began carving chunks of salvage limestone and street curbs to really create his artwork and sculptures, which is really interesting. And just kind of the last person that I really want to touch on, just kind of something more on today's factors, is Julie Mehretu. I believe I'm saying that wrong, but in 2013, she is the first Black artist whose works ranks among the most expensive at auction by a living female artist. Something really interesting about her is she is ranked number 7 of all female artists for their work being valued, but she's ranked number 1 amongst Black female artists. She's had artwork that has sold for more than $4.6 million. And that just really shows that art isn't dead today. It's just as alive as it was in the 17th century. And it should be valued to the same caliber. So thank you so much. And I hope I taught y'all a little bit more about these amazing African-American artists that have shaped our culture today. Thank you.